with the high school report card. And again, as I said before, we're looking at a couple of different elements here. One is absolute proficiency. This is the scores on the test in math and reading for 11th grade. This is the growth that we're looking at over time, so we're comparing and seeing are those 11th grade scores rising over time. So we wanted to, again, recognize growth, recognize the efforts the schools are making to improve. So we have a growth measure as a part of that. And we also wanted to put graduation rate. Ultimately, our goal is we want students to graduate. We want them to get those high school diplomas and go on. We know, however, just as we talked before about looking at growth over time, that we understand that not all kids are going to be able to achieve a 4-year graduation rate, so we've taken the 5-year rate as well, and we've blended those two together. So it's the graduation rate is a combination of both the 4- and 5-year rate. So you'll have additional information on the backs of the report cards. You have some more data, and there's additional data on the back around statewide information. So as someone mentioned before, we've got things like remediation rate and other information on the backs of the report cards. So again, our goal is to provide a lot of information, as much information as we can to schools. And over there, if I could sort of, if you guys, there we go. On the other side over here, we have the elementary school report card. Looks very much the same way. Obviously, we don't have the graduation rate, but again, we wanted to hit not just proficiency. We want all kids to be proficient, so we need to be looking at that, but also growth, and it's a 50-50 split, as you can see. So the top bars are the proficiency rate, what percentage of students are attaining those proficiency levels on the state assessments. We have the growth rate in that second, and growth is split again into two components. Growth is calculated as the percent of students who make a year's worth of growth in a year. So again, even though we know not all kids are going to hit those proficiency levels, we want to measure growth over time. And then we've specifically focused, we got this idea from Indiana, New Mexico, a couple of other states have done this. They look at the bottom 25% in terms of that growth. Our district's focusing on those kids at the bottom end of the spectrum that are struggling in school and making sure that they're getting growth as well. So that's been a separate growth factor. It's calculated in there, and those two make up the growth factor. The last piece of information down at the bottom is assessment participation. We've had some questions about that. Under the federal law, there's a requirement that we get as many students participating in the assessments as possible. The federal goal is 100%. And so we're putting the participation rate down there as well, so folks know what percentage of students actually took the assessment, and that tells us the level of, really the level of validity of the rest of the scores from there. And again, on the back of the report card, you have the data, and all of this is located in our online data center, where you have all of the research and all of the other data, including historic trend data that you can look back a couple of years. So again, this is about putting tools in the hands of the public, our parents, our school officials, and we anticipate and hope that it's going to be giving information that will move us forward in meeting the needs of all kids. So I'll stop there unless you have anything else to add, and we'll take some questions.